Moderna has announced that its experimental vaccine against COVID-19 is nearly 94.5% effective. This is now a dash of hope against the grim backdrop of coronavirus cases which are surging across the world. Moderna becomes the second US company to release data from a large study of its experimental vaccine. Listen in.
Important milestone in the fight against the pandemic because it demonstrates that our vaccine, mRNA-1273, is able to prevent COVID-19 disease, including severe disease in people who've received it. It's really just a milestone, though. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Knowing the vaccine is going to be effective is great news, but we still need to complete the regulatory process, which involves completing the study and generating more data, even some follow-up and safety data. And then, of course, we need to get busy manufacturing. We hope to have about 20 million doses of the vaccine by the end of this year, by the end of the calendar year. And we're looking forward to making about 500 million to 1 billion doses next year. But that is going to be a 24/7 operation. It won't be Moderna alone that solves this problem. It's going to require many vaccines, as we've been saying for a while. But we hope to be able to do our part from here forward. And this is a really important milestone in that journey. The profile matches other approved vaccines out there that provide a significant benefit. And so we're hopeful that most people will still get the vaccine, even with a couple of those days of flu-like symptoms that sometimes come, because the benefit this vaccine provides is a protection from COVID-19 disease.
Moderna CEO Stephen Bancel said, and I quote, "This positive interim analysis from our phase 3 study has given us the first clinical validation that our vaccine can prevent COVID-19 disease, including severe disease. These results are according to the early results from a clinical trial with more than 30,000 participants, and it will now seek emergency use authorization from the US Food and Drug Administration, which is expected later this month. Its first analysis was based on 95 cases of COVID-19, 90 of which received a placebo, with 5 receiving the vaccine. There were only 11 severe cases, and all of these were in the placebo group. The results come 1 week after Pfizer and German partner BioNTech announced that their experimental vaccine was more than 90% effective on initial data. Meanwhile, Moderna, which went public in 2018, has received nearly $1 billion in research and development funding from the United States government. It has also a deal worth $1.5 billion to supply 100 million doses. Moderna also has supply deals with other countries. After this announcement, Moderna has joined the league of other vaccines with high efficacy rates. The first to release trial results with over 90% efficacy was the vaccine by Pfizer and BioNTech. And days later, Russia's Sputnik V announced the vaccine reports as well, touting 92% efficacy. Now, the US drug maker Moderna has also announced a 94.5% efficacy rate, which seems to be the highest among all potential vaccines against COVID-19 so far. Medical experts are also upbeat about the news coming in from Moderna. Here is what some of them are saying. Starting with Dr. Anthony Fauci, America's leading infectious diseases expert. Dr. Fauci said that the vaccine was the light at the end of the tunnel. But he also warned Americans against lifting their guard down. Meanwhile, Zoltan Case, a research associate at the Imperial College, called it a huge validation of the RNA platform technology. Remember, Moderna's vaccine is an RNA-based one, which means that instead of weakened pathogens, RNA strains are injected to teach immune response. Another health expert, Richard Hatchett, talked about the vaccine storage capacity. Moderna's jab can be stored in a normal refrigerator for up to 30 days, which Hatchett says is terrific news for distribution. Professor Trudy Lang of the Oxford University said that Moderna clearly has enough data to back its claims. And the CEO of another promising vaccine candidate, Pfizer, also reacted to the news and congratulated Moderna for the breakthrough and said that he shared the same goal of defeating the COVID-19 pandemic.
Co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.